Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alpha Name. So we have a whole lot of XRP news to cover today. So let's start here. This is on cryptobasic.com. Of course, there's always a lot going on with the SEC case. This one is titled Ripple versus SEC. Ripple responds to SEC's quest to keep its objection to Amici's request confidential. So let's just read this little tidbit here. It says, Ripple has filed under seal its response to the Securities and Exchange Commission's opposition to Amici's participation in the upcoming Dalbert Expert Challenge. While the content of Ripple's response is not yet known, since it was filed under seal as required, the blockchain company has urged the court to file its reply to the SEC's opposition to Amici's participation in the upcoming Expert Challenge in the public docket. I fully expect Ripple to be successful in this as well. I think this will bear good fruit as we've been winning the entirety of the way. Ripple has been absolutely pummeling the SEC. This has been very, very good. And I think it sets a very good precedent, as I said before, for all these other blockchain companies that are going to have to battle against the SEC. And as you see, I'm sorry, I used the word see too much. And as we have seen, the SEC has begun going after crypto exchanges and also crypto companies already. They're already taking their focus off of Ripple, to a degree, and going after other companies because they need a victory. They want to set the precedent that they can defeat and they can bring to heel the blockchains. So every blockchain company out there better be watching this very carefully because it affects their future, their money, and not only that, it affects their investors' money. Now, we're all here to make money, not lose money. So I expect Ripple to continue to be victorious here. And that's going to be very, very good as we can continue to focus less on the case and more on the business partnerships that Ripple has been setting up, which has been brilliant all around the world. Different banks, new corridors, building the digital wallets, which we know is key to the CBDCs, building the liquidity hub. You saw we just brought in Lunu. They're going to be using the liquidity hub, which in my opinion is going to provide us with a lot of useful data on how effective the liquidity hub is. And not only that, when Lunu becomes satisfied, and I believe that they will, with the use of the liquidity hub, they will tell their friends, their partners, other businesses, and it will make the liquidity hub and XRP that much more delicious to others who may not have known about it before. Never underestimate the power of word of mouth. And so that will also bring in even more business. Also, we can concentrate on the educational services that we're doing in universities and colleges to bring in the new generations of people who will be using the blockchain. So we need to continue to have these types of victories, and we have over the SEC, so then we can allocate some of our attention to more pressing matters. As of right now, we are dominating them. Let's just read this little tidbit here, and then if you want to read the rest of the article, head over to thecryptobasic.com and check them out. They have a lot of great articles out today. It says, quote, defendants Ripple, Chris Larsen, and Brad Garlinghouse respectfully request that our entire response letter be filed on the public docket, with the exception of a redaction of the expert's name in Exhibit 1 to the defendant's letter. So they are doing a great job. They are continuing to expand Ripple and XRP despite all this SEC pressure. And don't forget the FUD. The FUD has been unbelievable this last few weeks. We just haven't spoken about it on the channel. But let's continue on here to another article. All right. This is also on thecryptobasic.com. As I said, they are on fire today. Go over there and check them out. This article is titled, SEC seeks to protect the identities of third parties in the exhibit filed in response to Ripple's RFA. And it goes as such. The Securities and Exchange Commission has requested that the court seal a portion of Exhibit A filed to the defendant's motion. The request is based on accusations made by Ripple that the agency's response to the fourth set of requests for admission, RFA, was insufficient. I would agree with that. According to the SEC, I mean, if you've been following the case, I believe that most logical people would agree to that. It says, according to the SEC, The move is intended to protect the identities of the parties whose privacy concerns supersede that of the public interest. I love how the SEC believes that everything should be redacted and identity should be protected when it comes to them. But when it comes to everybody else, you better let them know every single thing. Let them know how much money you made. Was this initial coin offering a securities offering? What color boxer briefs you wore on Tuesday of 1986? They want to know everything. But when it comes to them, redact it. Nope, let's protect this. You can't know this person's name. Everything is under a veil of darkness. You have to love the SEC. They are like a comic book villain at this point. Let's continue on here, everybody. The SEC noted that the request to keep selected portions of Exhibit A confidential was agreed to by Ripple, adding that the blockchain company and its execs do not object. Reason for the SEC's request. Okay, and then you have you have so much more to this article. Very, very good article. Like I said, head over to thecryptobasic.com, check them out if you want to read the rest of this article. But let's just cover just a little bit here. Furthermore, the plaintiff also cited 3 criteria that the court usually considers to seal documents. The SEC asserted that Exhibit A is a judicial document, which has the capacity to influence the court's ruling on the pending motion. My goodness, the SEC is constantly looking for technicalities. But I will say this. They have so far been a worthy opponent. I don't expect you to agree with me on this or think like I do. Alpha Neem is not here to influence you in any possible way like that. I respect you as an individual. But personally, I feel like they've been a worthy opponent, and I will definitely take a lot of glee in defeating them. Their lawyers are pretty good. They're not so bad. They've been losing, but just because you lose a match here or there, you lose a fight here and there, doesn't make you a loser. It doesn't. Like, we've all lost fights. We've all lost matches. And the SEC has been losing this one. And I believe when we get to the championship rounds, the SEC will lose that as well. So, yeah, even though they're losing, they've been pretty tough. It's been fun going against them. I'll say that. And I know that sounds weird to some people, but to all my fighters out there, my people who spar, my people who come from, those combat backgrounds of any kind, you know what I'm talking about. You have some of these sparring matches and some of these tournaments and fights. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Anyway, let's continue on here. Quote, however, the identities of the third parties are not relevant to the court's decision regarding defendant's motion. Indeed, the privacy interests of third parties should weigh heavily when balancing the presumption of disclosure, the SEC stated. Let's just read this little first sentence, and then we're going to move on to the next article. Argument over the fourth set of RFA. Recall that Ripple had asserted that the SEC did not adequately answer most of the questions. Didn't the judge say the exact same thing? I thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I read that wrong. But it seems to me that the SEC was they haven't been answering almost anything really. They've been muddying the waters, giving half answers, redacting information both physically as well as mentally. This was a person's opinion. I mean, all of these technicalities, all they've been doing is defending. And so, no, I haven't felt that they've answered anything adequately. There's still no clarity whatsoever. There's no clarity. There's so much that is very suspicious about this. But as I said before, head over to thecryptobasic.com. Check them out if you want to read the rest of this article. It was a very, very good article. Next article we have up here. So much going on with XRP today. This one is on U.Today, and it goes as such. It's titled 335 million XRP shifted by Ripple and exchanges. Now, that's not all. Now, let's jump into this here. It's just very interesting. While Whale Alert has posted a series of tweets to spread the word about 7 large XRP transactions. The biggest one was made by Ripple blockchain Monster, as it moved 70 million coins to one of its reserve wallets. This is good. This means they have more corridors that they're priming. They can possibly allocate this to new partners or existing partners, depending on what they're about to roll out. This is the activity of a company that is in motion. It is constantly building. It's testing its corridors. You just had them bring Lunu on board to use the Liquidity Hub. They could be priming them with the Liquidity Hub for the Liquidity Hub rollout. I mean, there's so much going on here. All of this is good for XRP's price, because when the time is right and everything's ready to go off without a hitch, I might add, because Ripple has been making sure XRP is without a flaw. and they've been strengthening the XRPL. But when it all goes off, theoretically speaking, because of all these preparatory steps, because of Ripple being so meticulous, that price could skyrocket. Now, I understand. I personally expect people to take profit, you know, at a myriad of prices. I think you'll see people take profit at $2. I think you'll see a little bit of a taking profit at $1. And you'll see just a little bit of a dip, in my humble opinion. And then people will hold out a little bit longer to $2. You'll see a little bit of taking profit at $2. $3 would be heavy profit because people, I believe, psychologically will stop believing that XRP will continue to go up at that particular time. This is in the future, guys. Remember that I'm talking about in the future, not tomorrow, not next month, not in a few months. I'm talking about in the future. Psychologically, it seems people will hit a wall, I believe, around $3, possibly at around $2.85. You'll see some profit taking there, and then you could see a little bit of a correction. Then after that correction, I anticipate some consolidation. You know, don't take those numbers to be completely accurate, but I'm looking at around those areas, right? And then after that, I think that after some consolidation, it'll fly to $4 and past $4, and then we're, you know. Then we're in some pretty good territory after that. But, you know, all in its due time. So now let's continue on here. This one is to one of our royal members in the members only section, Nick. Nick loves XDC. I really, really enjoy XDC. You know, I'm growing a love for XDC. They've been dominating. Here's an article on cryptodaily.co.uk about XDC. And it goes as such. XDC network completes 8 successful years dominating the blockchain sector. Look at this diagram that they have here. It says nodes 245, accounts 791,400 plus, blocks 45,839,700 plus, recorded transactions 283.81 million. Smart contract deployment, 11,600 plus. Look at their exchange list. Look at the wallets. Look at the dApps. Then take into account how long XDC has been doing this. They just had a meeting in Panama with a lot of governmental officials. XDC is making major moves. They have certain large sports entities that they're sponsoring. They have great marketing. I mean, they are beginning to fire on all cylinders. And at the price that it's at now, I think XDC is going to be an amazing return on investment. I mean, they're into trade finance. We're talking trillions and trillions of dollars in trade finance. They can do a lot more than that, obviously, as a settlement token, you know. And I believe they also introduced recently, get this, military grade security. Let me say that again. Do you know how delicious that is to large financial institutions, to large trade institutions? I mean, XDC could do whatever they want. They really, sky's the limit, honestly. They have military grade security. You don't hear too many blockchains saying that. All right, that's absolutely amazing. So, XDC has a very bright future. Let's just read this little tidbit here. It says the main net of XDC network has been in operation for 3 years. They've done all of this in 3 years. The XDC Foundation and XDC community have done a lot of work on updates, integrations, XDPOS 2.0 over all these years. They definitely have. Absolutely brilliant minds behind XDC. Zenfin FinTech launched an enterprise-grade Layer 1 mainnet for XDC networks. For the first 2 years, the Zenfin development team was led by co-founders Atul Kakade and Ritesh Kakad. They focused on network connectivity and improving the backbone of the trade, finance, and financial services sector. They've been doing some very, very good, solid partnerships. And I expect that to continue. At the beginning of the year, a major event established XDC network as the best blockchain for enterprise use cases. That's debatable. I'm glad they're putting themselves up there. I don't expect them to take a back seat. They have a lot of genius minds behind XDC and Zenfin. The best enterprise use case, that's going to be a tough throne to take. Because right now, if you look at VeChain's ecosystem and what VeChain is doing, they are dominating. I don't know if anybody is close to VeChain right now. But XDC, given time, and with this type of attitude and the type of brilliant minds they have behind them, definitely can catch up with VeChain, in my humble opinion. As far as enterprise, right? True enterprise coins, okay? Now, let's continue on here. It says, members of the World Economic Forum, Trade TEQ, a global innovator community supported by the development of NFTs, accelerated payments, provided asset origination services for the transaction, trade, and financial assets previously only available to a small number of investment banks are now available to the general public through blockchain-based technology. So as you can see, XDC is doing absolutely massive things. What are they trading at? Well, 3 cents today? 2 cents? I don't know. I don't even check the charts anymore. These are long-term plays. If you see what's going on here, major money is going to be flowing into these bank coins and some of these very well-respected utility coins. This is a great time to be alive, in my humble opinion. It says here, the project has always kept the community at the forefront, and the community has grown dramatically over 2 years. Their ecosystem has grown to be very strong, in my humble opinion. It says the result that XDC can look back on its 283 million transactions that have processed over 45 million blocks in 3 years. It has estimated market capitalization $500 million and is listed on 34 exchanges and storage options for both custodian and non-custodian wallets. XDC tokens provide off-screen strength for dApps. Listen, XDC is one of those projects I keep a close eye on, and I believe that they will be an absolute beast in the future. But I keep my eye on them. Look, I'm not married to any coin, all right, or any project. But when they're doing well, I say that they're doing good. Good job. I encourage them. But if they're not doing well, you may not hear me say a lot, or you may hear me say, hey, you need to do a little bit better, push a little bit harder. XDC is one of those that's doing a great job, in my humble opinion. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? Look at that. Not such a long video today. So until next time, somebody out there clapping like, yes, Alphanine, keep the video short. So until next time, let's get to the money.